makes it look like Clark Kent is the worst reporter on the face of the earth. Because my dude has never covered Superman personally. Like, your job is a reporter. Like, that's what you do. He ain't never around when it's time. And nobody bats an eye like, hey, this is your job.
No.
This is your one job.
Never.
And they always like, oh, where was you, Clark? Oh, I was
in the restroom.
His restroom.
But at a certain point, like, maybe he told people he has IBS.
All right, man, that's terrible.
Like, maybe. How do you tell people like, yo, I was getting hot dogs. I was using the restroom.
Nobody's like, I mean, they're at the Daily Planet, right? And nobody's just been like, why didn't you find like Superman or nothing like that? He's like in the office, and they're like, what's going on with that Superman thing? And there's a picture of Superman right next to him, and they're like.
It's like, man.
Wait, that's crazy.
So much
that
like
you
him.
look like him, but then it took them like forever to do that. But then we'll get into some comic book nerd stuff. We're not going to get into any of that. I mean, we're going to go down
because you're going to lose me.
It's a deep dark. I understand. It's a deep dark past.
Deep dark past.
Some would say that you see it. Black and ugly as ever. Stay Houston down to my socks. Also, we're back with another In My Humble Opinion podcast. I'm one of your hosts here, Avery, like a very nice guy. I'm legend, right? Oh, wrong.
You were on the whole wrong
I don't
hand.
care. I do stuff.
At a certain point, we should be able to get it down. Though. That's my goal, to get it down one time and just be like, dupe. And wait,
you've tried it, and you almost got there. Oh,
bam. See, look at that.
You feel good about yourself?
No, because I was close. I was close, but it wasn't. I want to be able to hit it like.
I know what you mean. I want to be able to do this, and then it pop
put
up.
A little ding.
Yeah. I mean, but anyway, like, Carlton with a K, B-A, and Triple X. Carlton with a K, B-A, and Triple X, also here with the co-host, Jess Devon, the man who wrote one of the greatest pieces of information, the Declaration of Independence.
I thought you were going to talk about when we went to go see Wu-Tang.
I was going to talk about that, but, I mean, if you want to talk about it, we can. And we was right.
Incredible.
We was right next to DJ.
I wrote that up.
How did you forget his name when I literally brought up his Instagram?
Black.
Say Black.
But
yeah, he was like, "Is that him?" I was like, "Boom, yes it is." He's right here.
My biggest thing about the Wu-Tang concert is if Method Man had to come out, they would have shut the place down.
Yeah.
But I will say this: ODB's son, the young dirty bastard, is like the spitting image of ODB.
But I mean,
no. I mean the voice. I'm talking about the voice and everything.
I mean, to his credit, and let's be honest here. How many people really listen to ODB? Anyway,
I get
once
that.
again,
I totally get that. But
I know we did. But I mean, I feel like
ODB is getting more appreciated.
Oh as weird stuff keeps going.
I go back and I was looking at articles about what people were writing about, and like Spin, Village Voice, and everything were literally saying like ODB has one of the most unique voices and one of the most unique rappers possibly in history, and that's holding up. Brooklyn Zoo is just like when you go from Brooklyn Zoo to Got Your Money and stuff like that. This dude, and I'm sorry, watching that Wu-Tang Saga, and we're not gonna come and talk about Wu-Tang Saga every week, but watching Wu-Tang Saga,
never seen it.
ODB, seeing where he comes from, has the most confidence ever because he's like, this is me. Like, I don't care what y'all want to do. Like, he's a weird one in Wu-Tang, and these dudes
are weird.
Were karate fighting.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's the one that stands out in Wu-Tang, and these are a group of guys that still were standing out like, yeah, we're going to do something different.
That makes sense. I mean,
just
standing out and doing something different. And our guest today stands out and does something different all the time.
The segues are impeccable.
I know.
And I'm sorry I stepped on it. Go ahead.
It's all good. No, it's what we do. We're a team. Our banter is what gets us people. Our banter actually got us connected to Coreigh Terry. Ding, ding, ding. And that's who our guest is. Round of applause. There we go.
I was gonna try to get I couldn't get it.
I thought out of everybody, you'd be able to get it.
No.
But if you controlled it, you do it like numerous times to get it perfect. That's what it's like. So,
and if we want to talk Wu-Tang Saga, I'm caught up.
Are you caught up?
Oh, 100%.
Wu-Tang
I'm not caught up, but I know enough about the Wu-Tang. So, but wait. Let's explain who you are to the people who don't know who you are. So, Coreigh, just real quick, what do you do?
I have no clue. I don't even know how to explain myself. I'm just a content producer online.
You really do produce a lot of content.
A lot of content. A lot of quality content. A
Quality.
lot of quality content shot with, like, I'm sorry, but
Yes.
the fact that some of the, I think that was Cab that said, all right, first let's back up. One, couple of weeks ago, you produced a video.
Yeah.
The first thought as I'm looking at the video and I'm hearing in the background, I was like, Doug, somebody else is interviewing Big Bad Cab, man. I said, yeah, man. I said, I see people coming up. Then I was like, yeah, but they asking the exact same questions we asked, dude. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Is that my voice? I was like, yo. So, yeah, I was real dumb. So I immediately texted him like, yo. So you we were talking about that with Cab. Mm-hmm. You featured Cab, one of our former guests, and you featured a number of our former. We talking about Cab, Rob Gillette, Big Fats, K-Dog, Dante Higgins.
First podcast.
Yeah, a number of them.
People I've interviewed, work with, love.
Oh, absolutely.
Tony Dark. Seen. I'm a big fan of Things with Todd.
Things with Todd.
He's cold.
Things with Todd.
Danny Ocean.
Oh, yeah, Tubo.
He likes to go by Tubo, but we like to call him OG Danny Ocean because that's the name that he chose for his Instagram. Why'd you choose it for your Instagram? Yeah. You're like, oh, don't call me OG Danny Ocean.
That's speaking of Todd and Tubo.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Mongoose versus Cobra on Monday nights.
Yeah. How was it?
It was. You've been to a Todd thing.
Look, I was mad I missed it. I'll be at the next one on Monday.
Yeah, that's what it is. You just show up.
Mongoose versus Cobra.
You just show up.
Nice little spot.
It is. It's pretty decent.
I'm happy that they have a spot because I'm like, it's nice that I like their vibe. Like, it's like, come out, hang out, drink.
Super creative.
Yeah.
It is. It's cool. It's eclectic, and nobody's like, it's not the vibe that I feel like, even though I like this rapper, just wouldn't want to party with him. It's not the vibe that I feel like Travis Scott would be. I'll be honest. It's too much.
Yeah, R.I.P. his meniscus.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't see it, though.
I didn't see it, but he's like a professional wrestler.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's got to stop jumping off of stuff. But, okay, so we were talking about you featured a number of these guests on your kind of media arm, which is Khntxt.
Right.
Spell that again for us.
KHNTXT.
KHNTXT. I was calling it something completely different for a while.
What are you saying?
I don't know what I was calling it, but then one day I actually read. I was like, it just says it right there, pronounce Khntxt. I was like,
funny
that
you didn't know that. Wow.
That makes sense. I was calling it Khntxt.
Literally, it looks like, that's like 1 second your brain goes.
It was the K. No, it was the K. The K was throwing me off. The K. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, it makes sense. So Khntxt. Wait, where'd you get the name? Where'd you even get the name Khntxt from?
I mean, that's just the word that lives. Everyone's saying it. We always want it. So, I just trying to find a hip hop way to spell it, I guess. Elliot Wilson, he was, at one point, everything he was doing was all abbreviations. He had hardcover, which was HDV, CVR. And that's pretty dope. And it's a way to get around the SEOs and stuff like that. And
absolutely. Because you're like, oh, okay, nobody else spelled it like this. So we're good. Yeah. Trust me, as we were looking up there are 4 billion in my humble opinions. It took us a second to. They're like, everybody's like, yeah. Basic. We're coming for you on YouTube. I don't know.
So we're not coming for anybody. We're spreading love.
I would have names thinking I was super original, and you go and look, and everyone's
oh my goodness.
Like, okay, I thought I was more creative than this.
You like Spider-Man macaroni, right? And they're like, there's like 9 of them
with turkey.
Yeah, it's just there's even more of those.
Yes.
You're like,
what's crazy is like the companies, like it'll be made. Like we went to go buy a website for, I forgot what name we had come up with before, but we went.
We're
and
not
it was
gonna
like,
say it. But.
Yeah. but Ford Motor Company owned it, and they
I know why.
They've owned it for like 20 years, and I'm just like, y'all ain't even got a car.
They just squatting on it.
That's literally. And so,
in case they do,
it was coming free in 2016, and I was waiting. Like, I was like, maybe somebody from Ford just let this one slide. Like, it's not, they ain't got a car, they ain't got nothing. Oh, they renewed that with all their packages of everything they renewed. But I'm like, y'all are sitting on the name, so who knows? I think I know the name of a Ford car that's in development or that's been scrapped.
I wanna know the name of the car.
We'll talk off camera.
We'll talk off camera.
We come up with very unimaginative, they're really imaginative names. They're very like, hey,
well, sounds valuable. Obviously,
That's
holding
why I was
on
like,
to it.
oh,
Like
okay. But okay, so Khntxt, and that's how we discovered you. And then we saw your background.
Yeah.
Khntxt, you were going around and you were recording freestyles.
Initially started out just based on interviews, kind of doing what you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching for example, I was watching Dante Higgins' interview. I thought that was great. I know a lot of his songs, he's always talking about his grandmother, how much he loves and all that. In that interview, he breaks it down. His mom had him early. She went to the Army, and then to college. So the first 10 years, he was with his grandmother. So that made a lot of sense for the songs that I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I like to hear stuff like that. That's what I was doing initially. Just interviews with anyone, not just artists, but also could have been a writer, could have been a publisher of a magazine, could have been a videographer, anything. Just wanted to document some of the people who are some of the top people in their field at that time, and that's kind of how it started. That's when people were watching YouTube, and that's when I think Instagram had like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the YouTube early, it's like 300 views, 100 views, 500 views, things like that. Now it's like 1, 3.
Oh yeah, YouTube is
on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but I guess I'm getting off track from what you were saying. That's how it started, and then I started doing. I tried to get into the freestyles, but I wanted it a little bit more raw and not so produced. But it started out, it was called Sweet 16s. I wanted to do that, but I wanted to revamp it. I wanted to get a DJ, a guy named DJ Demo. I'm not sure you've heard of him.
Okay.
Works with Waxaholics.
Yeah.
Super mean. He's cold, like cold. He's cold on the wheels.
I think we've retweeted some of his stuff. Yeah.
You might get him on. He got a lot of stuff going on. But he was on that first leg tour with Toby.
Yeah.
And Wigway. So he was gone when I was really trying to get going. So that's why I didn't use that name. I just had to get going.
Okay, yeah.
And that's kind of how I started pushing.
Okay.
But it went from the original visuals initially. I know you posted the ones with big facts. That was an original visual. It's like a music video. You didn't see the mic.
Yeah.
So that was just me shooting music videos for free of people who I really like. Where I kind of came into a roadblock trying to shoot somebody a video. They got to record the record. I got to like the record, things like that. So it put everything in slow motion. But when I found that mic, and now the technology now is catching up with our imagination. So that mic allows me to record into an iPhone. I got an old iPhone 6, records into the iPhone, so I can record you live anywhere I go. I shoot you on my iPhone and play music off of iPhone going through a Bluetooth. So right there on the spot, I can say, hey, look, just write to this. I'll send them a beat, write to that. A week, depending on how fast they write. Some write really fast, some take a little longer. But when they got it, they come in. They don't have to worry about going to a studio and getting it engineered. Because I want that raw sound.
Yeah.
Like that LA Leaker, that Cosmic Kev, that, Sway, the mic pops, the plosives. I know he's probably mad at me getting too close. But I love all that, And then I'm going to try to clean it up. So, but sometimes you'll hear trains in the background, people walking by. I know I was
Wu-Tang effects.
Yeah.
I like that rawness too.
I love that. That's my favorite.
Once Pro Tools got available for the common man, I love listening to like just raw material. When dudes will be like, "Here's my beat, it's unmixed," I'll be like, "Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I can hear, I can hear it. I don't need it to sound like Michael Jackson."
I kind of right doing video. I kind of understand the snobby part, but I do know that I'm like you. Like if I saw, for example, if I saw a woman in the store, she had a hat on low, no makeup on. A lot of times you hear girls say, I don't know why I wouldn't even dress. It's
perfect analogy.
I see the potential, don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. If this is where you're at this point,
right.
It only gets better from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's it.
So if I'm hearing it raw, I get it. You want to let me know this is unmixed. Okay, cool, whatever. But if it's dope, it's dope.
It's dope.
It is what it is. And I think that's probably why we like Wu-Tang. Because I think, I'm watching the the last part. I won't give nothing away, but you saw when he went into the studio, he's like,
I was just about to bring that up.
Moved all the. He's like, no, I want all this up top. He was like, no, it's gonna peak. Nah, yeah, that's what I want.
And he's like, that's the sound I want, because you can tell it's like, you know, you get with a professional producer, or the producer he's with is like, I want a real polished sound. Like, this is gonna sound good, and it goes with the hip hop.
Right.
I love that they played that RZA video at the very end.
I Love You, Rakim.
I Love You, Rakim.
I love you.
Yeah. But it's like,
I love that
you
video.
can see the sound that they were going for, and he's like, nah, I want like this raw pop sound.
It's funny how that happened. Look at what happened to RZA now.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the successful failures you need.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Can't rap on a beat now.
We've talked about what you can do. Let's show some examples. Like, let's show Martina. Am I pronouncing that name right?
Yeah.
Martina Marie. Let's play hers real quick.
She's dope.
And then it's like, how do you pick who you want?
Just search. Now people start to send me things.
I can imagine.
But before it was just online. She's cold. I don't know if you go on here. She's an MC. She's in the car. She writes. Can the man hit her up like, you got a great ass memory? Like, how you writing this and remembering so fast?
That's her man.
Yeah, see that guy in the background? That's just the homeless guy fishing with a stick and like a string.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd have to pay him. Look, he ain't really fishing. But this is downtown.
And that's the other thing. You were finding the locations look great. They look, I don't know. It's like,
I lost my vehicle in Harvey, and I ride my bike everywhere now. I bus, Uber, whatever. But a lot of times, especially downtown, I bike everywhere. And doing that opened up a lot of stuff for me. I'm like, oh, this is
you
cool.
can see like,
I can see everything. Things I wouldn't have seen in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Because some of them, I'm like I don't even know where you're at.
No,
like,
and from some people from Houston, that's. I love that. They're like, where was this? I'm like, it's right by you.
Because some of them are downtown. Some of them
Edo and whatnot.
Yeah, I live Edo.
I can imagine
because
when you're looking at some of the buildings, especially like some of the dilapidated buildings, I'm like, this has got to be.
I love that.
Edo, and that's like,
Spaghetti Warehouse went down. Oh, let's shoot that.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I
heard they made that to a club now, Hiking Pilot or something like that.
I don't know. I'm old.
Go to a club. Hanky and Pilot is right there. That's where they have the freestyle.
Oh, okay. Now I remember.
Freestyle battle competition. Like, it's a nice little spot. That was kind of weird because the freestyle battle competition was like during the middle of the day on a Sunday, and it was just like all non-hip hop fans,
right?
Just out and about.
Right,
where's? I said, am I at the right spot? And then you like walk up, and then you go upstairs. You're like, oh, okay, everybody's here. I get it. That's all. Like Pug Tunes, Doe Beezy, and everybody was up there. Dante. Let's see another one. I mean, just particularly a former. I say former.
I was talking
previous
all over
guest.
Martina. I'm sorry, Martina. She's
yeah. Actually, we'll play. We'll have links and everything on there because some of these people. You just gotta. We see people that you post, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta see.
We gotta.
And hers,
look at their page.
She
follow them.
has so much stuff.
Yeah,
like I was seeing her in the car.
Well put together.
She a nurse?
She doesn't stop. Yeah. She's a I want she has an RN or.
Yeah. Because she'll literally like get off of work, post a freestyle.
You saw Jill Scott reposted one of her. She's like, "You a nurse?" She said, "You cool, keep going."
Man, she is incredible.
Yeah.
Let's see, K-Dog.
Oh man, this is a standout.
K-Dog's one is just I just like this,
especially if
K-Dog.
I know they're gonna show a little bit, but go to that second. Oh man, this was a standout. They don't even let you record here. We didn't know. He went up there and said something to him. They let us shoot something real quick. I don't know
what did he say?
We don't know.
I wish I had
K-Dog is a man of few words, but they strong.
But the words, yeah.
No, but listen to this. This boy.
Crack the window, smoke heavy like gray fog, bitch. We been giving out fair ones, but they fighting and jumping. You'll feel that lightning and thunder like a gray cloud, bitch. I lost a pound on the Greyhound, bitch, during the shakedown, bitch, cause I forgot to do a spray down, bitch. Paid the guard 100 just so he won't take all this. Still nervous when I make it out of Baytown, bitch. I'm familiar with Anahuac and I hate y'all, bitch. I tell the driver slow it way down, bitch. Put the blunt out, throw on my shades, they darker than Ray Charles, bitch. Salute me when you see me, bar none, fade off, bitch. What's happening?
I like this break he took just collect himself.
So this is all your mic is just recording.
That mic's going it's recording into an iPhone.
Yeah, that's funny. That cover.
See that rag over top of it? That's what that son was trying to cook it.
I got pulled over the other day. He seen BNFA and asked me what it stand for. I asked him why. He threw his hand on his handcuffs. I asked him what you reaching for.
And threw my hands up.
Man.
Now people have
y'all
to
gotta listen to that
when
whole
I
thing.
Tell you, and that's the other reason why I kind of cut it off.
I appreciate y'all showing that though.
People need to see some of these because I don't know what it is. Where they talk about. I think Russell Simmons would say certain things like, when you give the artist an opportunity to freestyle, you'll see a lot of these thoughts and a lot of the seriousness come out of them.
Yeah.
And I remember when you posted that one, it was like the first verse. And it's just that constant bitch,
right.
but it's like it's developing. And
that
when you get to the second verse,
Mm-hmm.
like the first verse is cold. The second verse
he starts saying some
is
stuff.
so he's saying some stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, I like that you're giving people the opportunity to get that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like I said, if they're dope, I just have faith in them. I don't even know what they're gonna say until we hit record. That's how I like it. So I'm recording. I'm making faces while my face is I'm just recording like, oof, I'm trying to hold it steady. So these boys go in.
You're recording the track into an iPhone. What are you shooting with?
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
Yeah.
Which number iPhone?
iPhone X.
Okay.
Yeah, the 10, not the 10s or the new one, just the older one. I was shooting with a 7 Plus before that.
Okay.
But I used to shoot with a 7D. I still have it, but it's so mobile, especially since I can ride my bike wherever.
Yeah.
A lot of the peripheral things for a smartphone camera are a lot smaller, they're a lot less expensive, and that's where the film industry is going. Not everything, but if
I can imagine, yeah.
That's what drives people to phones now anyway. It's the camera.
So drove me to partly to an iPhone. Now I'm a selfie ass nigga now.
I saw you post one the other day.
Yeah, that was today.
Yeah.
Trying to be like K-Dog, bitch. Anyway.
So let's back up then. Where are you from?
I was born in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my father was in the Air Force.
Delaware?
Okay.
Yeah, Dover, Delaware.
We talked about Delaware last week.
Wow.
Word.
we took a lot of shots at the
oh,
damn.
Took
a lot of shots at the great
Lots
state of
of
Delaware.
shots.
Nah, we confident.
It was 10 minutes of shit.
No.
Delaware
We
got a lot of
literally were
self-esteem.
talking about that, and I said, there's dudes in Delaware that's like, nah, you ain't been here. Like, I was like,
1000%.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I could, especially in Dover, I could take some people on, Kirkwood and
Damn.
and
See,
New
I
Street
knew it.
and-
I
Full
knew
circle.
it. Full
It's-
circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, people made that mistake coming down to Del State and trying to throw up they set. It just doesn't matter. A hood is a hood.
Yeah, of course.
DJ
Yeah,
Quick told you that.
Yeah.
A hood is a
True.
hood, man, and you gotta
True.
respect it when you go somewhere.
True.
If you ain't got nothing to lose, you ain't got nothing to lose. No
Oh,
matter
my
where you
goodness.
at. But
That's true.
but I would tell someone from Delaware, don't go to anywhere else.
Exactly.
Of course.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
exactly.
it is what it is.
So you
From
went.
Delaware, yeah.
So from Delaware, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess what's the path that gets you down to Houston?
It was a lot of. I'm gonna skip some things in between.
Okay,
If I was in the
okay.
Air Force, so Colorado, Hawaii. I was in Hawaii probably when you guys were in Alaska.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I had a pre-talk and told them where I was at.
Yeah.
Came back, a little
Came
bit.
back to the
Small St.
48.
Jersey, Delaware. So when I was back in Delaware, that was like my high school years. Then went to Del State.
Okay.
Left early, started doing stand-up in New York. Right. Then started working with a management music group. They were managing a couple of artists. One notably was signed with Mr. 305 and Universal Republic.
Okay.
Yeah, that budget got swallowed up by Drake when he came over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Drake. Yeah.
for sure. But that's kind of where the
They put their money where it was going. Yeah, absolutely. Drake.
yeah, smartly they did that.
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
that. I'm not mad at that. But that's kind of what moved me out here. I want to say we were trying to get music everywhere. I guess the way I'm not sure if you guys are around music a lot. It sounds like you are. I'm not sure I didn't have that conversation with you before, but I know like BDS reports, when you get a song out there and you're trying to get a deal for a video or anything like that, you got to hit a certain media-based number. So record plays, it spins on your local station at a certain time. They can calculate, okay, X amount, 1 million people heard it at that time. Boom, boom, boom. That number's supposed to build. Once you get that number, okay, album can come out, or they release the budget for a video, whatever the case may be. At the time, we were trying to get ours up. We started realizing they were really excited about, radio stations in Colorado. We didn't understand. Like, yo, we're in New York. Why don't y'all? We got it on I-97. We didn't understand that. But New York was so fragmented with hip hop stations and just other stations for black people in general. They were really excited trying to get music in Houston because at the time I think it was just 97, and I think you guys had one more.
We did.
Station with the Mexicans. I remember them. And Cristal Bubbling. And so Houston was really big. They wanted us to get music out here, but Houston's stubborn with music. They're not trying to just take music. And they were telling us that you can't just, you got to get your feet in the mud. You got to get out there. That was the whole reason why me and one of the co-owners of the music group moved out here and kind of get in like that. So that's kind of how we came out. I'm trying to wrap the story up so it's not too long. But the artist we were working with, he unfortunately had a rare kidney disease, so that kind of slowed things down, and that's where I had to start trying to be creative and
branch out and other stuff.
And to be creative on my own. But I had bought a camera that looked something like the ones that you're looking at, actually probably the exact same thing. I bought that. It was probably like $1,200 at the time, and we were on tour. So you're on tour with Pitbull and Cassie and what's my man's name? He runs with GT Garza a lot. Baby Bash.
Oh, okay.
All these guys, and so I'm trying to kind of document it. I don't know anything about editing at this time, and nothing like that. I wanted a good camera. I could just shoot and document it because I know this was kind of cool. And I remember they took that footage and they sent it over to this guy named ZM Wright in Jersey, and he's cold with it. He took that video and edited it up, chopped it up, and made like these. Basically made like a documentary more or less, and then they aired it. Karen Civil hosted this party for it and everything. But when he showed it, I'm looking at the edits and I was kind of like, that's what I would have done. I would have done that. I would have showed this. That's kind of how I was. I guess he kind of saw how I would have edited. Maybe I don't know, or I thought. So I was like, I think I can do this. So that's kind of where I started trying to edit and do music videos and things like that, but it was terrible for a long time. It's very bad.
It was terrible for a long time.
A long time. I didn't know it was terrible because if I just start doing music videos and I started from beginning to end, and you never seen a music video done before, you would be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get a lot of compliments until you meet certain people that
actually know what they're doing.
And I started running into people who were nice with it. I wish I could remember his name. I wanted to give him a lot of credit. He's an artist. He's a cartoonist now. I want to say his name is Obi.
Oblongs.
Obi, he just moved out to L.A., right?
He may have. He's a cartoonist.
Yeah.
Super dope.
We just bought it. I just bought his book, a cartoon.
That has to be
like
him.
His collection.
That has to be him.
But yeah. He does great. And then he's been kind of animating some of his stuff on Instagram because a few people have retweeted it. I think he's
super cool.
Yeah,
I don't know him that well, but I know I was doing a lot of house parties at this time. That's kind of how I was meeting a lot of people in the city.
Okay.
And I would record the house parties, cut it up, edit it, and put it out, and people were really impressed. That's him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's him. And some people I knew him. He was coming. And people were kind of impressed with me doing a video for a party. This is before people started doing videos for parties. I was doing it for house parties.
Yeah.
And they were showing him, oh, he did this video. And then I remember he looked at it and he said, you just started doing this, huh? And I was like, and I thought he was saying, but I didn't see any shots. He wasn't taking a shot. He just does this. He's a graphic designer, all that kind of stuff. So he says, you just started doing this, huh? And I was like, yeah, I just started thinking like he's going to be like, you're pretty good for it. He was like, yeah, I can tell. Then he went back to his conversation. I was like, that made me start looking at what people are doing. Like, why did he say that?
Yeah.
And I started seeing the gap. So that made me start researching and taking it serious from that point. Yeah. So
what was one of the major things you first saw where you're like, okay, this is where I'm lacking? Or was it any particular thing?
It was nothing in particular because I didn't really know what I was looking for. I was just there was a look like, okay, because everyone else that was doing something like really dope, it seemed like they were kind of like with a big company or something like that. I didn't know there was anyone like me doing stuff really dope, like just one man band in it. until I started seeing like people started showing me Orbit, Artiste, I want to say King David, Ochi Danny Oceans, aka Tubo.
Yeah.
Just seeing those guys, and I was like, okay, I need to, I need to figure this. Yeah, I need to know. I was like, I need to figure this out. I had to unfollow them. That's how dope they were. Like to the point, I don't want to see that. So I like really like unfollow all the artistes and not see it. That's tough to do. That's tough to, try to be a great sprinter when you're looking at Usain Bolt. Beat you by 20 meters. So sometimes you got to go race on your own and just.
And it
try
is
to
one of those things too where you can see how much experience and how much development in the craft play. Like every time we told people, I was like, it showed people one of your videos. It's like, oh yeah, you shot that with an iPhone. Right. Like you have to know what you're doing because look, I got an iPhone. You got an iPhone. Everybody got an iPhone, but everybody is not the surprise of he shot that with an iPhone is like he did that with something I got.
Right.
Let me see if I can do it.
Right.
Nah, you can't. Like you need to learn how to do this stuff, and it's a lot of hours and hours of man work that get put into this, so you know how to do it. I told you we edit our videos, and we not heavy into editing, and it's nothing I want to do. Like,
but a podcast. I mean, this is right in the pocket. What you need to do.
Yeah.
It's laid out. It cuts. I can see like I'm talking. It's on my face. You talk. It's on your.
Oh no! That's the good
I know you got
the sphere.
Yeah, you got to. No, you guys got to control.
We got other videos too and transitions.
Oh my!
Wow! Yeah.
Like I'm just like, and so the thing is, like, we'll shoot something and then we go back and we look at. I mean, honestly, we look at you and Tubo, and so we're looking at yes. I was like, well,
we just got to put it out, because these things aren't out yet. That we're doing.
And I saw like the one with Dante. The first 10 minutes, y'all weren't recording. You had to go back.
Oh yeah.
That
was our first episode. Hey. We were just like,
I watched that 2 days ago. I was
let's
like,
see what happens.
Yo,
let's back it up and let's see what happens.
We really have to get him back on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
man,
absolutely.
Nah, that's how it goes. I mean, that's why I call it successful failures. It's just a necessary evil.
Yeah,
just something.
You got to get out there and get your feet wet. That's just what it is.
Sinbad's father told him. He said, as long as you're willing to be bad at something for a little bit, you can be great.
That's true.
That makes a ton of sense.
That's true. So when did you get in your eyes good?
I don't know. I just know when I started having fun.
Okay.
And when I started leaning down, because at first I was just trying to make money, and that's usually the wrong compromise. But I had a camera, and I was like, okay, I can shoot a car wash, I can shoot a skateboarding event. Weddings. I was doing maternal and prenatal and babies, and I was doing just everything. And it's different when you're doing it. I was doing music videos of artists that I didn't really like, or not like personally, but just I don't really enjoy the music. So when you're editing, like you gonna hear the lyrics over and over, the song over and over. And if the song's not dope, it's just gonna be it's a hard time. So now I'm kind of leaning out. Now I'm doing things that I really, really want to do versus being a gun for hire. I'm just trying to really produce content. Right now, like I said, I'm not charging anybody for anything. I just want to produce dope content. Maybe I can take that and with a situation and sit down with some leverage with somebody with a platform versus just being a music video cameraman for this guy and pictures for this person. I personally don't want to be that person.
It makes sense. You're coming to them with like a lot of content as opposed to I mean, you're already packaged. You have everything that you need as opposed to coming to them with the idea going, well, this is what I want to do and let me describe it to you. I'm like, look what I'm doing.
1,000%.
It's just going to get better from here.
Right.
And it's amazing.
Right.
It's really good.
Right. I look at Seinfeld's one of the big guys I listen to a lot. He is finding projects he has fun with every stage. I remember if you look a lot of his documentaries when NBC was trying to do something different with his show, and he was like, "No, I don't want to do that." They're like, "Well, we have to," and he was like, "Okay, well, what they'll pull the plug," and he was like, "Well, it's cool. I'll go back to stand up."
I'm done. Yeah.
He's like, "That's cool." He didn't threaten him. He's like, "That's cool. I'll just go back to stand up." That's real, but it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a play, and they were like, "Oh," they had to acquiesce to him because he was like, "We're doing this, or I'm just gonna go back to this other fun stuff."
Yeah.
And that's what you see, like, comedians in cars. I mean, that's literally him just interviewing people that he wants.
I love comedians in cars.
It's
I was watching comedians in cars just for the shots and transitions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the way that
That's
it's
awesome.
shot and everything.
It makes you want espresso if you even like it.
And I mean they cracked. He cracked a joke about it on the last season opener, but now everybody's in their car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, everybody's
shooting something in their car.
Yeah.
Rappers in Hondas drinking latte. Like everybody has a car show now, and it's crazy that it's like when I first saw that he was on Crackle.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was on
He
Crackle.
was on
Yeah, it was
Crackle,
Crackle.
and I was like, yo.
I was trying to remember what channel that was.
Crackle.
Rich Seinfeld is just going around shooting stuff with iPhones and GoPros.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hanging out. And
Him and
now
Obama.
Yeah.
On Crackle.
And then the next
No,
thing,
no.
No, that was
Crackle's
when,
Netflix.
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
that's when he
2 or
got to
3
Netflix.
Then he
Yeah,
switched to
yeah.
that. But when at first it's just like, I'm interviewing my friends and I'm driving around in cars that you already knew if you a Seinfeld fan that he's in the car.
Freak. Yeah, Porsche.
So it's like, I'm like, I got access to cars. I was gonna do that already.
Yeah.
I drink coffee.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that already. I'm gonna talk to my friends.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that already.
Yeah.
Let me figure out cool ways to film this.
Right.
And then you can tell it's just like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do until somebody picks it up.
Because it's really, he said it's really a talk show that's moving. Because if you look at like Letterman or anybody else that's doing it, they're interviewing people they don't want to interview.
Yeah.
And he's just interviewing people he's either curious about or he's super friends with. And it's just the idea of just doing exactly what you want. And it went from there and it's got bigger and bigger. And I think anytime you do that, it's going to exude a different type of energy. And I think like what you guys are doing, you're just going after people you love. You're not going after people who are going to pay. You're not going after people that.
Oh, yeah. We don't charge.
We've got no money for this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just we like what's going on in Houston.
Right.
But when you do things you love, it shines through. I mean, look at him, like Joe Budden podcast. I'm like, wow.
Right.
Like nobody was listening to this for a bit, and then boom.
Right, which is funny. The management team I was working with, both of our artists that we had did records with Joe Budden. There's a song called Go Girl, which was written by an artist named David Rush. And that was Pitbull's record, had Trina on the end. But initially, we were recording with Joe Budden's on the initial, on the original, which is hilarious. Took him off because Pitt wanted to make that his first song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when Pitbull comes calling, at the time, Joe, you gotta go.
Not then. This is.
I was about to say Pitbull's
Pitbull
rise.
was still TV. He was still
Wow,
TBT.
he was still TBT.
He didn't even.
This is do-rag Pitbull.
Yeah, he.
Okay.
Well, I think the images that you saw last before he dropped Boat Lift, I think the name of the album was. Last time we saw him was with cornrows. We didn't see him. We were just getting emails and things like that.
Yeah, Pitbull started wearing them shoes with no socks.
It was a great move.
And the next thing you know,
It's a great move.
like
he changed that demographic he was going after.
That's what hurt us. We were kind of more hip hop.
So y'all were more of the Kulo side as opposed to the Mr.
And
Worldwide.
then he came top 40, and that kind of was like, we trying to go to DJ High C with a top 40 record, a little different. A little different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good learning experience, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, what kept you in Houston?
The women, the weather, the economy, and I'll say the nightlife. It's a very young city.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I named them all. That's not in a particular order, though.
That's funny. You know what? You're one of the and this might be a thing where I'm saying, and I think Houston has great nightlife, but Houston is also. I love my city. We just not appreciative of a lot of stuff sometimes.
We're not.
So that is one of the things that people don't know. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was like, "There's nothing to do at night. There's nothing." I was like, "Have you gone downtown? Downtown is dead." I'm like, "Have you gone down there?
Wow. Yeah.
You should probably go down there."
Yeah. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
There's so many sections.
We go to
there's a
something
lot
like
of
one
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
Like if we go to something one time, you're like, "Man, I went to downtown back in like '94, and
I know.
it was not popping."
Yeah, when I
And
first
I'm
got
done.
here, it was like it was like a section like where like Grasshopper and
Yeah.
levels and all that, and then everything else was just kind of dead.
Yeah.
But now it's just like it's all
Now they got the whole area right near the light rail. Yeah, because you're
San
right with the
Emmanuel,
Grasshopper.
all that.
And where Spaghetti Warehouse was, you hop over there. And
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many sections everywhere of anything. Like, I've been to parties where people be like, "Oh, I'm having my birthday party," and I'm like, "It's on the north side." Then I go over there and I'll be like,
Oh.
I never knew that this whole thing was here.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is, but it's just dope. Or even just going to Amy's parties and going, I didn't know nothing about this.
Yeah. I hit up a lot of her parties. You talking about DJ Having Things?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. She's doing it right.
Yeah, she really is doing it right.
She's doing it right.
Because you just pop up at random place. One of those places we popped up at, and it happened to be is literally across the street from my uncle's house. Like I was driving, getting to rest. I'm like, is that my uncle's house? And it just turns out like Boombox Taco had a spot that was right there, and they like beer, all that stuff, everything. They had drinks for everybody. They had all that stuff. And
she was in some spot, didn't even have a roof. It was just in there, didn't have a roof, anything like that. That's how I met a lot. That's how I ended up working with not Guy Body Bingo, but his man. I don't know. I'm forgetting his name right now. B Val.
Okay.
He's tough. Yeah. He's cool too. But I see him perform, and I was like, and I don't think he had a big following. You know, some people come out with that. But the way he was on, I was like, I gotta get him.
I understand. It seems like he's hungry. Plus, it's like, I guess a student shooting him aesthetically would be good because the way he moves.
He's very conscious of that.
Okay.
But when he's on stage, it plays very, very well. I was like, this guy's going. We were talking earlier about preemptive strikes. Like, just we're getting some people who are going to take. He's one of them. He just got he got something.
Because you go back, I mean, we were talking about that in terms of Meg.
Yeah, I figured that's
we
where
were looking at videos of Meg. I mean, you and I for a while. We're like, yo.
It's going to be a thing.
But you know what? It's not even that. I mean, I think who we were trying to get at first, and we were talking back and forth, was
Big Fats?
No, not Big Fats. Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, golly. How did I just forget his Young Deji.
Young Deji.
Where
Young Deji we were saying like we like a lot of, I don't want to call them the kids, but the younger group, because they're so into the aesthetics. Like they're in the art of, these guys are more into, I want to shoot a lot of videos and graphics and stuff like that, and these are accompanied by songs, as opposed to I need to put out an album. I feel like my generation and above is like, I need to record an album, and then we'll figure out which songs is going to get the video.
Right.
And these kids is like, man, I want to shoot like 9 things.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out how this music is going to fit into it.
Yeah, you see K-Dog making like short stories and things like that. Short film.
A whole movie.
A whole movie that we watched.
If you see, I think Donald Glover was the one that said it. He said, music is the advertisement.
Yeah.
And he said the bakery doesn't charge for the smell.
That's true.
Yeah. And the smell is music right now. So a lot of times that's just to draw you in, and that's why like you see, Toby like, buy merch, not music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because like, look, here's the music. Here you go. Take it. Here's the music.
Take a video. A week. I got everything different.
Boom, boom, boom. And then like,
buy this.
Sweater,
and it makes
hoodie.
so much sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the game is. That's what they're realizing. Let me get the music out there. Let me make sure that my brand is perpetual by putting out music, putting out videos, things like that.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Before it was like, I keep paying for the studio time for this video, and then I got an album, and I'm not gonna really make anything back on that. It's the tours, it's the merch.
Yeah, it's that merch and
all the
everything.
other peripheral things. Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, even now, us being in Houston, I see that Travis Scott shirt everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that is good.
Yeah. I
Wish you were here. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm just happy to see anybody from Houston doing something.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's a positive thing.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, as far as you, I guess, man, brain farted.
But I would say that going back to the merch, that's what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
Okay.
We're already working, because here's the thing.
That'll come. There's
That's hilarious.
stuff.
No, we're definitely
Apologize.
working on that, because that. No,
Oh, don't apologize. 'Cause if you want to
no.
do some merch with us, yeah.
Because that.
Oh, you would? Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's one of the big things where you're saying like, we've been seeing that trend as well, and I keep telling people like, a lot of the stuff that I've bought recently, as it becomes in reference to artists, are either it is some form of merchandise like a shirt or a hoodie that I can wear, or it's unless you're printing up a vinyl, I'm probably not going to buy your music. Like, that's usually how it goes. Now, there are certain artists that we've gotten to know like as friends, and I've literally like, okay, that's my boy. Like, let me go ahead and buy the album. Yeah. But I'm like, you can't rely on that. Like, you can't make friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody is of the mind that I can pick up, like we were listening to Joe Budden every day. It's like, Wale album new out. It's in your phone right now.
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
And
why you listening?
It doesn't matter. Like, even with Wale, with that many people listening to his album, like every time, I think DeLorean was on here one time and he's like, hey, man, I appreciate the listen, but you do know that the one time you listened to my album, you got me 2 cents, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, you got to put that in perspective. So there's other stuff that I got to do. Now, a shirt, I bought it. So if I go to see an artist, I'm probably more likely to say, oh, let me go ahead and buy, especially if it's cool. Yeah. That Wu-Tang show, they had that Houston Rockets Wu-Tang mashup shirt.
That's smart.
Definitely bought that.
Sure
like I said, I'm buying that immediately.
Yeah. I can say, like, I know you. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I think about it all the time because I was like, when you bought it, I was like, that's mine. Ding, ding, ding.
No. That's my lose weight congratulations shirt.
But I can honestly say, every time we go somewhere, I'll be like, oh, you getting that? All right, dang, he got the Chico hoodie. Like, he got less hoodie. Like, he got all the hoodies. He got every time we somewhere. You like, yo, how much that hoodie? I'm like, this hoodie wearing ass nigga. Like,
well, when I was like, I already rock hoodies, and or a band shirt or whatever. But it's just like that. I feel like one, you get a lot more artists that are putting, I feel like, more work into their merchandise. Like, they're like, yo, I really want people to walk away with something good. So even
the technology,
K-Dog stuff, man.
Oh my gosh,
K-Dog
he got a farm of merch.
Best merch.
Look.
I've never seen him with the same merch.
God,
exactly.
Not at all.
They be having straight up photo shoots.
I
watch a lot of his lives.
I did a video literally just to showcase their with Pumpsicle, Papa Pumpsicle, his man,
really?
the fitness dude.
Yeah,
and he has a ton out, man. The back of his car was just all merch. So we did a video. We had to do like 5 outfit changes.
Damn.
See,
just so that,
and that's kind of what it is. So
Smart, man.
Smart, yeah.
I find like, and unless it's that, or like when we talk about Toby when he was first coming out, there was so much merch available. It was either he was selling vinyl, which I think I bought like every one of his vinyls.
Okay.
Or it's been merch. Like, just get a shirt. Get a T-shirt. Get a long tee.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a hoodie. Get something like that.
Or just, if anyone, just start with one thing and just work that. Because I remember with him, it was just the hoodie, the hoodie.
Yeah.
Then he got the paint. Then it started, branching out like that. Yeah, just go on one thing. Just work it. Because people just want to, because it's redundant. It's like, I got the album here. Let me go. I'm not gonna buy the physical one. That's just basically me giving you money.
Yeah.
Not really, but you know what I'm saying. That's just like, I got it on my, I'll buy it just to support it. But like a sweater or something like that, people
you're gonna wear that.
Like, yeah.
Like the Boy Drew's merchandise.
The merchandise developed. Boy Drew's stuff looks dope. I mean, but the merchandise also develops. It also develops a culture. Like we were saying. I mean, one of the reasons why we wanted to interview Say Black was just because like every girl got a Say Black shirt. Like,
he's super popular.
Yeah,
it's just I can't figure out why he's just super popular. No, I mean that sounds.
No, I'm messing with
but
you.
I mean, like he's like
it just pop. Like I think he just has a good energy.
He
does have a good. Yeah, when you're near him,
he's
just a great guy.
I'm just like I'm a guy that hangs out. I host parties. I don't drink, but I have drinks and have fun.
Right.
No, I remember it was his birthday, and we were at one of Todd's events, and there was a picture taken. I'm in that picture. On his page, and you're like, I don't even know this. Don't even know him that well, but there was like,
but it's just a smile. It's a smile and a handshake.
Dude is nice.
He's a smile and a handshake as soon as you see him. Yep.
But even that, just a simple shirt that has his logo on it, and that just kind of became a thing where it's like I've literally been around people like, oh, I gotta re-up and get another shirt.
Yeah,
like that's it because mine got kind of older. I'm like that's the thing but that's support.
Yeah,
like that's just what it is.
Yeah, my loft at home is just I got every sweater, every hoodie, every hat. You see it hanging up everywhere in the crib.
Yeah.
So with that show, a lot of that when I shoot, you'll see just kind of like subliminal
stuff in the background.
Yeah,
just tiny things, which is good too.
Yeah, just shooting at different spots because I watch like Atlanta or things in New York and LA, and it doesn't catch our eye because we're not from there. We don't understand what this chicken shack means to if you shoot in front of like a Frenchie's or you're shooting in front of Turkey Leg Hut, and it was just off on the side. People, oh shoot, I know that.
And
it's cool. It draws you in. Yeah, and it's pretty fun in the fantasy world like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with that. Independent. That's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to see just tiny things of going.
Yeah.
Yo, that's Caro's in the background, and he's right near that
Yeah.
subway.
Yeah.
1,000%.
We don't go to that subway.
Exactly.
Like just the tiniest things.
But that's a huge thing where it's like, we talked about that with like DeLorean, where we're saying not just being able to see it visually, but I said Houston will also develop its music scene when we start talking about
the
Nights of the International Ballroom.
International Ballroom is
I went to the
literally
International
like
Ballroom,
a day in the life of a Houstonian.
Talking about the potholes on Richmond and stuff like that. I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm hearing stuff like I think people are doing it more, where they're making it tangible, and I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, that's the hood. A lot of stuff I didn't know it was the hood.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Some things I can tell. I know Dante had me out at South Lawn. I was like, this is
Definitely.
I didn't have to go. Like this was. I was like, man, he got a lot of respect for me after that. I was like, damn, you grew up with that's tough.
And that's one of those things because Dante is such a nice guy.
Man, yeah.
Like he's such
1,000%.
just a seems like a quiet, kind of unassuming guy.
Yeah.
But he's like, yo, this is where I come from.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is.
All this business together.
Matter of fact, he had me in South Lawn. We were supposed to record in someone's spot, but they weren't there. So he just went knocking on some random spots. I used to live here. I was like, let's try. We'll try to come back next week.
Yeah,
It's just bold. I love it though.
So
stuff like that.
But I like seeing that where it's like you have these artists that are like, I like Big Bad Cab in like in Afghanistan, where you got all these artists from the north side that are talking about the area, all these artists from the south side all these people that are talking about who's the boy that's down 45.
He ate shrimp on here.
No, not Doe Beasy.
Okay.
Not Doe Beasy, but right before Doe Man.
Doe Man Diner.
Doe Man Diner. Like
I ran into him at Axelrad. I'm trying to get him so bad.
Oh, he incredible.
Yeah, he's
like,
tough.
He really is. Like,
I'm trying
incredible.
I be buying. I be buying these cats drinks. What's up, What's up, man? What you want? Jameson. He gonna say this? Oh, I do drink Jameson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you on. He probably thought I think he thought I was an artist though. I'm sure they get it all the time.
No, it is one of those. Look, we approached them approaching people at
Amy's
the same
party.
time. We're like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like that's the other thing, being out and about, because it's like we got God Body just because we saw him at his one party, and then we saw him like 6 months later, and we saw the progression, we saw the crowd work and everything. I was like, yeah, we got to bring him on.
Yeah.
Like that's just
seeing that
and
sign,
like,
man.
Some of those people, I'm like, yo, like
that's
well,
right. That's why I first saw you was the classroom concerts.
Classroom concerts. We
like
saw you with that, and then there was another one. Where you at? Because you were with I think it was Elliot at it's a spot in Edo. The same spot that got the juicy leg store, the juice. It's got the vintage T-shirt place.
Edo is in Edo. I was there.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Was it one of Amy's events?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I met you. I saw you there.
Yeah, I was.
I don't think I knew who you guys were then.
I was about to say we were just starting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We were just kind of starting out, and that's the thing. Where
I too forget because when I see certain people, I'll be like, "How come he don't know?" I had different hair and I had no beard.
Yeah. I saw your hair progression. It came right down.
Yeah, so I'm like,
yours too.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to grow it out.
And I see you committed to the Justivon.
We did.
Yeah, you was hesitant.
One time I was like,
he's with it, man.
you know, he
one of the first.
It's just what it is.
I branded it, but you came up with
Devon.
your name. It was
just
all you, buddy. I just branded it.
Fighting it at first.
I was fighting it first, but I'm like, it works now.
Branding, man.
Now it works. It works. So and then that's helped us develop stuff with doing stuff with the Houston Press and all this other kind of things. So we just trying to flesh out document the scene that's getting fleshed out.
I appreciate it. That's why
that's exactly what you were doing.
I remember, before I met you first. I don't think I've ever met. This is my
we've
first
never
time
met. Yeah.
When I met you at the classroom concert, that's the first time I met you. But I know I was familiar with you after Amy's interview.
Yeah,
she was dropping facts. I was like, damn. She lays out the gems.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, just getting to know and see like the scene. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I did meet you before, but we didn't have any clue who the other one was, and we weren't doing anything. This was VRC, Virtual Reality Caravan. Jedi Master.
Shoot. Wait, was it his podcast?
Yes.
Oh, you was on that same podcast?
But this was before I was like with them on the podcast. Like I was just coming through. Like
was
I
in
was
the
like,
back.
Yeah. I was like, I talked for a second, and I was like, oh, okay.
I remember that.
So
where were we at?
I think we were at
some dive bar.
No, we had the boot. The boot.
It was in the Heights or something like that.
Yeah. But you should go back to the boot.
Yeah.
Go back to the boot now because he's built that up. It's like a full Saints bar. It's got screens, all that stuff. Shouts out to the boot. But, yeah, it's got all this stuff out there now. But
it's crazy. You got to be nice to everybody you meet, boy.
Yeah, you really do.
Stole on me.
You have no clue.
That's true.
And that's the other thing, too. It's just like just trying to be professional. You have no clue who you're going to meet. You have no clue who's who. We've met people, and then we'll meet somebody later on and be like, oh, yeah, I'm her manager.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we was nice.
Yeah.
Like,
we're just naturally nice anyway. Because
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know everybody's struggle as far as what they need to do.
Facts.
So it's kind of like, I mean, show it in a positive light. It's a good thing. And yeah, you're right. There's been a few times where I've been out at a bar and somebody be like, you that dude. And I'll be like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
This is what they talking about. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
They're like, let me buy you a drink. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, dang, that's what happened to Nipsey. But I ain't Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will admit, it happened to us. It happened. I was with you one time when it happened, and it was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, what does he want?
Yeah, I was scared.
He's like, hey, man.
That was the first time that happened.
I was like, man, the only people that watch this show is my mama. Like, how are you watching it? And it was just like,
That's what you think.
That's what you think.
And that's what we were starting to find out. So I was like, oh, okay. So
people start quoting you. People start starting conversations about things you said weeks ago, and you be like, what happened?
And then I'm like, man, we recorded that episode 9 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So now we done caught up. So
Yeah.
I know, like, people will recognize me. That sounded corny. People.
No, I know it's just like
so
people that recognize me.
No, but I had a guy. He thought I was someone else, but I knew he just recognized my face. So I was still good with that. And then he hit me like 2 weeks later. And was like, I knew that was you, and he kind of placed my face.
Yeah.
But people will come up, oh, you the dude that does the, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. They give me a compliment, but I never see a like or nothing like that. That's why I'm saying you never know who's watching.
Yeah, you never know.
You go, wow, people look, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. I'm serious what you're doing. I'm like, okay. So the numbers you can't even really look at.
And that's why I be telling people, I'm like, hey, just
go.
I will say DeLorean was like, he's like, hey man, it takes nothing to like or subscribe or whatever. But I'm like I said, we don't have any kind of like animosity against people. Also, even we've had guests that we've reached out to that have been like just kind of ignored it and then come back on the show later.
Yeah,
on.
that's fine.
I don't care.
It's
Like
all
you
love.
don't know us from a hole in the wall.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I'm like you don't know who we are. We were
exactly.
just two dudes that told you to show up to Harwin.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
like
1,000%. That's why
come to Harwin real
I'm like,
quick.
this-
We're gonna record some stuff. And like,
This
okay,
is our
I'm cool.
passion, but it's like life is long, so there's other things to focus on as well. You like, oh, you're not coming? That's fine. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't have. That's why you can ask Doe, D-Lo, Doe Man. I'm Bloodbath. I'm hitting them like
bloodbath. Yeah,
I'm hitting them like at least 3 times a month.
and that's fine. Yeah,
I know him. I see him out, buy him drink. What's good? Dude?
Yeah.
How you feel?
Yeah.
Hey, I like that deck you built. No, but if you ever
DeLorean.
this mic,
Yeah,
you know, hey,
yeah.
I'm hitting them
And
up.
then because you're always looking at we look at what you look at and you're looking at that like we love Bloodbath.
yeah.
Like
Damn,
Bloodbath is one of those people. It's like, and it's one of those things where I'm like, yo,
I think we've been to more of her shows. Than
oh
you,
my
right?
god, and it's like with Bloodbath thing, I'm
missing
like, she's so like,
Oh, she's
it's
swaggy.
raw, it's talent, but I'm
She's
like,
swaggy. She stands out.
man, when people find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, y'all,
Yeah,
like,
I
and
was-
y'all
she
don't even know.
brings-
I said when people find out
Yeah.
what she does,
I
it's
was
through the
listening-
roof.
She brings out the women.
Fact.
Oh no, that's true.
brings
Yeah, and it's
Every
shut down. It's not like, and it's
every
not-
hip hop show, that's the way it's
She
been. Like,
brings
I'm like,
them
where
out.
are these girls
Out.
coming from?
You need to, boy.
Oh, there goes Bloodbath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, who was talking about her? Someone. It was damn. Rhapsody.
Yes.
I was like, damn, I'm never gonna get her on that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I was happy that she put it out. She was, I forgot whose podcast she was. I don't know if it was Rap Radar or somebody, but she was making a point about Jermaine Dupri. She's like, if they give you the opportunity, you should highlight people you like versus talking about people you don't.
Oh, absolutely.
And which was a great point. And then they were like, hey, well, who do you like? What's it? I think it was Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
And then she started naming them. I think that was the last one.
Because Bloodbath retweeted it. Like,
I was watching it.
Oh.
Because I watched that. I try to consume everything.
Yeah.
I try to consume all,
so you didn't, for fun. You didn't stop watching Everyday Struggle.
I saw that. I was like sick to my stomach. I'm never going to get her now. Yeah. she'll see it. She'll like it. She won't say nothing back. But I was like, dang, I ain't never.
I mean, you'll get it.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep trying to.
You're very respected. Because even when he talked about how he saw, especially like your short episode that you put us in, I forget that this is what we do sometimes. I'll be thinking about my job. So I'm just on the phone with my gal and just talking, blah, 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 and talking about my job. And I'm go back to Instagram because, I'm kind of heavy on Instagram. And I'm looking, and I just see it, and I go, oh, man, like, that's like, wait, why am I that's awesome. And I go, wait, that's Coreigh Terry. And I was like, and she's telling me about how terrible her day is. I go, fucking right. And then she's like, what happened? I go, like, I'm finna cook some chicken or some shit because I didn't want to be like, I'm excited. So I let her go through her stuff, and I was like, all right, immediately. So by the time you sent it to me, I was like, I already knew it. Like, I was like, that's the awesomest thing.
That's dope.
Just having you, I mean, like you say, like, you're not going to get these people. You're pretty respected.
It'll happen.
People know who you are.
That was my reaction when I heard. I was just listening to the content, and then because you guys didn't hit me, hey, we were talking about, and ain't do nothing corny like that. It's just I just went to go watch Cab because Cab is super ill.
Cab is ill.
Super duper ill, especially when his voice get high. That's when he really about to go in.
Yeah.
But I'm just listening, and all of a sudden my name came up, and I saw the video. I was like, oh shoot, that was a good feeling. And then that kind of just I already had an idea. I wanted to do a short film, but I was like, well, if I could just do a bunch of short films, just make them episodic to where I can kind of like, make an arc of a story, make it chronological, and kind of move through. And that kind of spawned that idea. So I was like, let me just go ahead and put that in there. Yeah. So I thought that was dope, and I appreciate that.
No, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
What more are what are your plans, your immediate plans here? Because I know you got a lot that's going to be coming out. Yeah. But what are some of the things, like you were talking about the episodic thing, what are some of the things you got coming out in the future?
Still going to be going with Tangent.
Okay.
That's just more of like not necessarily a podcast. It's more like a mini condensed version of what you guys do.
Yeah.
I hear if you guys watch Joe Budden's podcast, he says it a lot. No, I'm off on a tangent.
I'm off on a tangent, yeah.
And that's usually my favorite part. Not of just his podcast, but every podcast they go, let me stop getting on this tangent. But it's usually when they get into nitty gritty.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you stop? But they're thinking of the
goal the path that they've already set out.
That and also the I guess the novice listener. They want to stay in tune with that. And I'm like,
forget them.
Come on, let's go. So that's kind of what that is. It's just if you heard an episode of that and they just condense it down, I guess that's the ESPN highlights of a podcast, so to speak. That's my version. That. So Tangent, that's where the idea came from. Let's see, the Independent, that's just like the episodic series that I'm working on. You're gonna see way more of the first takes. I wanted to do, and I also want to do. I'm developing one for R&B artists, not necessarily R&B artists, but just more live performances. You've seen the NPR joint, Tiny Desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm working on a dress. It's called Dress Rehearsal. So it's gonna just be more with like a 2-part band, maybe a guitarist and maybe a drummer and stuff like that, and it's kind of going with that. I'm not sure how much time we got.
We got about.
We don't need to see the time, but we got
45 seconds.
Skating on tonight.
And you know what, though? For that last minute and 45 seconds, because we talked all over her freestyle, and I just want to. Let's play Martina Marie for that last minute and 30 seconds.
Take us out.
Let's do that and just have her take us out, because that's just.
Don't never get it twisted. You the prize, and don't never let that nigga tell you different. Entertaining other women, you ain't with it, then just get up off your ass. It's too much money to be getting. Ain't no crying over silly dick. He wanna act like he a kid and get that silly kitty ass nigga tricks. Treat a nigga like a trick. Pop that shit off. That shit don't never be a problem when you flexing at the strip club. It's finna be a stick up in this motherfucker. I wish the fuck I would let a nigga play me like a sucker. Got the hustle from my daddy. They came from my my mother. Got protection from my brothers and uncles, so I ain't never feared nothing. Never claimed that I came from nothing. Always had it good. Daddy got us out the hood young. Mama kept in place full. Been a bull, and I said that shit with confidence. I put my best foot forward and whatever, bitch, I'm dominant. They said I'm a problem, ain't too fine to me. They're like, where she come from? Ain't no finding me. Never see me out. I'm in my bag and I ain't hiring. I'ma let your wave die. These rappers expiring. They said I'm inspiring. I do what I want, sis. Fly me out to Cali. Let's go fuck off in the mountains. Need me an accountant. Money getting dumb high and dipping in my savings for no motherfucking fun time. He fucked me to the sunrise. He knocked out, then I'm leaving. Get back to the money. I can't cuddle. That shit seasonal. Find me worldwide. Bitches regional. Bitches talking comp like what they doing ain't achievable. Take it how you want. The shit's perceivable. Enough of that. Fuck a duffel. Need a duffel bag and ain't a nigga walking earth gon' fuck with that. Fuck bitches. Get money. Fuck niggas. Get money. Load it up, man.